Hello everybody, Melanie Dean here, first podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's definitely been a long time coming and I'm very excited to be starting this and sharing some insights with you all. So I thought I'd start off with actually 3 key energy concepts. I found a little thing to call them, I suppose, but 3 energy concepts that really helped me in my journey. So now we're in a time where we can all start a business. We've all got these opportunities. We've got these choices to start a business, to become entrepreneurs. And so the game's changed a little bit. The people that are starting businesses are very, very different to, 10, 20 years ago. And so we're needing more tools because I don't know if you're anything like myself. I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know anything about being an entrepreneur. I didn't know anything about mindset, about awareness. And, mix that in with the fact that we've gone from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age in 2011, 2012. There's been this real shift in energy, this real shift in that busting out of the matrix, that shift in what our reality should be and should in inverted commas. And so we're all having this opportunity where we're realizing that we can all start creating and we can start, like I said, busting out of this matrix, busting out of what we feel like we should do and actually do what we really want to do, what our heart desires. But for those of you who are older than 5 years old, the chances are we've grown up in families or we've grown up with imprints, through our education system mostly, of thinking a certain way and being conditioned to think a certain way and to have certain beliefs about ourselves, about life, about creating life on this beautiful planet. And so all those new entrepreneurs coming through, whether it's you're starting today or whether you've been doing this for 10 or 20 years plus, there is a need to really work with energy, work with mindset. Like I said, combine the 2 things together. The fact that we've got the Aquarian age, that shift in perception, that shift in from that shift in vibration that the planet has been through. Mix that in with the fact that we have got all these opportunities to create with like social media and things like that, which is obviously very Aquarian age. We really have to be mindful and we really have to invest our time and our energy into ourselves. So these are my 3 key concepts. The first one that I really want to speak to you about is the simple concept of that we are living on a polarity planet. So what does that mean? It basically means that there'll always be a north, a south, an east, a west, a plus, a minus, a negative and a positive. And that will always be in every single situation. And the mind can always see both sides. The heart feels, the heart is unconditional, the heart feels what is good and what feels right. But the mind can always see the polarity. It can always see the good and the bad, the positive and the negative. And what's important is that because there's always 2 sides, is we actually get to choose. We get to choose what we want to experience. One of my favorite quotes that I heard was, every paradigm is available. Which one do you want to play by? And I love that. It's genius. For me, I was like, what does paradigm mean? I had to look it up a little bit. But basically the story, like every story is available. Every story of your life is available to map out. But which one do you want to play by? Do you want to play by the one where you're a victim and nothing ever goes your way? Or do you want to play by a story where you're always so lucky and everything just lands in your lap? You basically get to choose. So in business, when we're first starting out, or whether we've been doing business for some months, some years, we're going to have challenges. We're going to have things come our way, but we get to decide how we want to experience it. We get to decide whether we want to activate the positive of that experience or activate the negative. Now, to activate the positive, sometimes it can be really challenging, especially like the bigger challenges that are thrown to us. And the way we can activate the positive if we're struggling is through energy in our system. So you can call it prana, you can call it chi, but it's the energy, the prana, the life force within our I guess, physical body, mental body, but also the subtle body, the soul body. And when we've got enough energy in our system, we can choose higher vibration way of thinking. We can choose a higher vibrational way of thinking. So how do we get energy into the system? Well, we have to move it. We have to move the body. We meditate to clear the mind, to clear the junk, clear the subconscious mind, and give it a real good wash or a good shower. We can use affirmations. We can use mantras. We can use breath work as well. Breathing, like conscious breathing. Again, really, really, really important in creating that energy. But also one really, really important thing that can really help us activate the positive in any situation is gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Finding the gratitude, finding the thing that you can be grateful in that moment. Even if you cannot find gratitude in that challenge that's come your way, but if you can find gratitude in something else, like hot water running out the tap, how quickly your kettle boils and you can have an amazing cup of tea or cup of coffee. Basically, if you've got roof over your head and you've had a meal today, you definitely have a lot to be grateful for. And so even if we can't activate the gratitude in the situation that we're finding challenging, but we can activate gratitude, that in itself heightens our vibration and gives us energy, so we get to choose a positive. So that's the first thing, polarity. There'll always be challenges and we always get to choose how we want to see it. The second thing I want to mention is really understanding that everything is either a projection or a perception. So if you're working with people, if you're working with lots of people, this is really, really important to really get your head around as an energetic concept when becoming a successful entrepreneur, because we've all got different ideals and we've got ideas, and the reality is that you'll never be able to please everyone. Like, some of you be listening to this podcast and you're probably switched off already. Some of you are sticking around. Some of you, I'm definitely your cup of tea. Some people, I'm not your cup of tea, and that doesn't matter, But the reality is that everyone's projecting and everyone's perceiving, and we're all doing it differently. So you could see something one way and someone else could see it another way. Of course, coming back to the fact that we live on this polarity planet, so there's always two ways to see things. But I always remind myself of this really simple, basic concept daily, because especially if I'm coaching people and I'm mentoring people and I think that I'm communicating in a certain way and it completely makes sense to me, and I'm really hitting the nail on the head and being awesome, and if they're not got a clue what I'm talking about, or they're on a completely different page to me, the communication is going to be off and there's going to be no growth. And then the third thing that I really want to share with you is such a key, important, energetic concept for all you entrepreneurs out there, and that is the law of attraction. This is a law. It is happening whether you like it or not. Like the law of gravity, whether I think about gravity or not, if I drop something, it's going to fall, it's going to land. And the same with law of attraction, whether you're engaged with law of attraction and being mindful and being in that awareness, it is absolutely happening, whether you're thinking about it or not. So why not be conscious about it? Start being aware about where your thoughts are, what you're putting out there, what you're putting out of what's your general vibrational thought pattern. And again, it comes back to awareness, it comes back to mindfulness. How do we get that? We get energy in our system, we get the prana, we get the chi. How do we get that? We get meditation, we move our body, we do deep breathing, we do all of these things. So law of attraction, like I said, is happening all the time, and so use it to your benefit. Start thinking about what it is actually that you really do want to desire. What is it that you want to create? Because if you're creating, again, every paradigm is available. Which one do you want to play by? If you're creating daily, if law of attraction is happening, then take control. think about these concepts daily. Think about the law of attraction daily. Be as mindful as you can. Hey, don't worry, if you go off on like a crazy, like, what's going on? What's happening in my life? And you have like a moment where you just can't even get dressed. Like, we're human, right? We're here for a human experience. We're spiritual beings here for a human experience. So that is okay. Don't panic. Like, it's not quite as exaggerated as that, the law of attraction. So, but, when you're in moments of, maybe just scrolling through social media and you're letting just your thoughts run away with you, we have to mind the mind. We have to be the master of the mind and not allow the mind to master us. We do not want to be a slave to the mind. We want the mind to be a slave to us. And I know that sounds a bit of a weird concept because it's saying the mind's separate to us. And then it's like, well, then who is us? Who are we? Who is the us? And that's probably another podcast. But yeah, being mindful that we've got all these different layers of thoughts. So mindful of what it is that you're putting out there, what it is that you want to create. And if you do want to create, you do want to really be mindful of that, then number one, make sure it's aligned with what it is that you want to create. Is it actually aligned with you, with your essence, with your soul being? Does it feel good when you think about it? Does it feel true? Does it feel true? If it feels true when you think about it, it's because it's already happened on the time continuum. Time's not linear. Time is, think of time as in columns. Time comes in columns. Again, probably another podcast. But think about, sorry, I just lost my train of thought a little bit then, thinking about my columns. Think about what it is that you want to create. And when you think about it, does it feel true? Does it feel like true in your heart, in your essence? Does it feel like you're connected to it? And then we have to match the vibration of what it is that we want to create. So we have to find that alignment. So if we want to create more money, more income, we want to earn more money, we have to match the vibration of having more money. So we can't be in a place of lack. We have to be in a place of abundance, in a place of love, in a place of joy, that high vibration. And then, of course, it's the patience as well. We have to be patient. So, have that faith, have that trust, have that knowing that it has already happened. It is true, therefore it is. And it will absolutely appear in this reality when you vibrate at the same frequency. Remember that everything's frequency. If you can't see something, it's because you're not vibrating at the frequency of what it is that you wish to attract. If you want to attract something in, you have to vibrate at the same frequency. Raise your frequency so it can come in, it can slot in. So those are the 3 key concepts I really want to share with you guys, because these are 3 things that I always remind myself day in, day out, day in, day out. Gets me through like the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. And it really reminds me to stay true to the person I am, to the person I'm here to be in this lifetime. If you've enjoyed this podcast and got lots from it, then feel free to leave a review, feel free to share it with your friends and family, and of course feel free to share it on Instagram too, and you can tag me at Melanie J. Dean. Thank you so much. I'll be back again next week.